old was Aisha? There are two schools of thought on the age of Aisha when her marriage to Mohammed was first consummated. One school of thought says 9, the other says 18. First, the hadith. These are the sayings of the Prophet or those near him, passed down via a chain of narrations. Islamic scholars examine these and the chain and come to a decision about whether each hadith is sahih, hasan or daif, authentic, good or weak. There are also fabricated hadith, but obviously those should be ignored. In this analysis, I shall use only sahih, authentic hadith. Sahih Bukhari, Volume 5, Book 58, number 234. At that time, I was a girl of 9 years of age. Sahih Bukhari, Volume 5, Book 58, number 236. And he consummated that marriage when she was 9 years old. Sahih Bukhari, Volume 7, Book 62, Hadith 64. The Prophet married her when she was 6 years old. Sahih Bukhari, Volume 9, Book 73, number 151. I used to play with the dolls in the presence of the Prophet. This is significant because adult Muslims are forbidden to have images of people, but an exception is made for small girls who are allowed to play with dolls. Sahih Muslim, Book 8, Hadith number 3309. I was admitted to his house at the age of 9. Sahih Muslim, Book 8, Hadith number 3310. I was admitted to his house when I was 9 years old. Sahih Muslim, Book 8, Hadith number 3311. She was taken to his house as a bride when she was 9, and her dolls were with her. Abu Dawood, Book 41, number 4915. He took up cohabitation with me when I was 9. Abu Dawood, Book 41, number 4917. He took up cohabitation with me when I was 9. So all these authentic hadith tell the same story. Married at 6, consummated at 9. And many Muslims accept this and are content with this. We know, for example, that some very young marriages were made amongst royal families in Egypt. There are various apologetics for this. One is that people at that time matured sooner than they do today. I don't see any reason to believe this. Indeed, I would have expected that the better nutrition of people today would make today's people mature faster. A second apologetic says that people in hot climates mature faster. This is given as an assertion with no evidence offered. A third apologetic says that Aisha started to menstruate early. This is possible, and therefore was ready for sex and childbearing. But menstruation is not the only requirement for childbearing. The mother also has to be sufficiently developed physically to be able to pass a baby down the birth canal. Otherwise, both mother and baby can die in childbirth. Why might these hadith be fabricated? One reason would be to make it very clear that Aisha was a virgin. Until recently, these hadith have been accepted. But more recently, there has been a realization that Westerners are not happy with a man of 53 having sex with a girl of 9. So there have been some fresh calculations made, in which it is calculated that Aisha was older at marriage. I shall call this method the arithmetic method. The first question is, what was the date of their marriage? You'd think that this would be easy to discover. A marriage between two such important people would have been a really big deal. But I've found various dates for this from 619 AD to 622 AD. and when you search, there seems to be suspiciously little information. By contrast, it is very easy to discover that Muhammad married Khadija in 595 AD when she was 40. If you do a Google search, what year was Aisha married, nearly all the hits are about Aisha's age at marriage, and that doesn't help because that's what I'm trying to research. But in my opinion, the date of marriage doesn't matter nearly as much as the date of consummation. The only reason why the marriage date would be important would be if it was linked to the consummation. For example, the hadith separate the two events by 3 years. But if we are willing to disregard the hadith on ages, why would we nevertheless believe them for the 3 years? A key date in Islam is the date of the first revelation, 610 AD, Surah 96. The sources seem to agree on this. Another key date is Hegira, the date that Muhammad and his followers migrated from Mecca to Yathrib, which was later renamed Medina. This happened June the 16th to July the 2nd, 622 AD. Again, the sources seem to agree. And the consummation of Aisha's marriage was definitely after Hegira because it happened in Medina, so we know that it was on or after 622 AD. Aisha had an older sister, Asma. Asma was born in 595 AD. She was therefore 27 at the Hegira. Al-Thahabi said in Siyar Alam an-Nubalai, she, i.e. Asma, was older than Aisha by more than 10 years. There is also a statement that Asma was born 10 years before the mission of the Prophet, which would put her birth date at 600 AD, and she would be 22 at the date of the Hegira. I've also seen a statement that Asma was 10 years older than Aisha, which would make Aisha 17 at the time of the Hegira, and therefore at least 17 at the date of consummation, or 12 if you take the later date for the birth of Asma, or 19 if you take the consummation to be 2 years after Hegira. It is also said that Aisha accompanied Muhammad at the Battle of Badr, 624 AD, and I've seen it argued that she must have been at least 15 to go into battle, and therefore 13 at consummation. But if she had stayed well back as a camp follower, she could have been much younger. So, using this methodology, we can get an age for Aisha at consummation of anything from 12 to 19. And many Muslims prefer this number for obvious reasons. So, after all this, what is my opinion? 1. The hadith are very consistent, and why would Aisha lie about her age at marriage? 2. That gives an age at consummation of 9. 3. The arithmetic method gives ages between 12 and 19, depending on how you do the calculation and on what starting points you take. This is not very satisfactory. 4. Since a plausible case can be made for anything from 9 to 19, people will believe what they prefer to believe. So why is Aisha's age important? No one is going to try to prosecute someone who died 1400 years ago. It's really just of academic interest, except where it bears on the character and morals of Muhammad. But Muhammad did a great many other actions which are much better authenticated, which attest to his character and morals far more strongly. But the other reason why this is important is the effect on today. Muslims believe that Muhammad was the perfect man and seek to emulate him in every way. Or so they say. In practice, people fall short of the ideal. But if Muhammad married a girl of 6, then seeking to emulate that would be very bad, or even 9.